Starr. My wife and I, we live up in Amarillo. She's not here today because she's like out to here, about to give birth, and we put her on lockdown, on house arrest. So no more travel. So she probably won't be here next month either. Be a couple weeks away from giving birth. So we're not going to risk it. But I'll tell you our quick story. Randy and Rita Cheek are my I call them my mom and dad. They're my wife's parents, and so they introduced us the very first month of Miriam was in existence of September of 2011, and I was that honorary husband that said, "Honey, I will support you in your little skincare business, but I will never get up and talk about Miriam in front of people. I'm not going to use it because I already look awesome. And then I don't believe in the industry." Basically just telling the truth. And so because I'd heard all the horror stories from other people, and I'm smart enough to connect dots, right? And so, but what happened was, and I love what someone told me one time. They said, I was telling my story, and they pulled me to the side, and they said, "You know what happened to you, right?" I said, "No, what happened?" And they said, "Well, it went from here to here." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" Just being a kind of hard-headed guy, he said, "Well, you went from you thinking about it too much to where it actually started changing your life." And I said, "You're right." And they said, "Do you remember when that happened?" I said, "I absolutely remember when that happened." And what it was an event. It was the very first event that Miriam ever had in Dallas. And we went in the room. There was 200 of us in the room. And I'll tell a quick little sidebar. My wife came from the pharmaceutical industry. So every big event they ever went to, they literally put all the people in the room, locked the doors, turned the lights up as high as they possibly could, and literally walked around and scolded every single person for not meeting their sales goals, and talked about how you don't get it up 10% by next quarter, you're fired. So that's where she came from. So we're going to this meeting for Miriam. There's 200 people in the room, and she's literally having a panic attack. And me, I'm the guy saying, "I'll support you in your little skincare business," but I know that she needs to be there, because she was like, "I'm not going, I can't go, I can't." It just was bringing up all those old emotions. And so I said, "Honey, we have to go. I'll be right there with you." Because I was sitting there going, "Well, maybe I'll drop you off and I'll go play golf." That's what I was thinking. But I saw where she was, and so we went. And during that time, I actually got to hear, for the first time, I got to hear Mark Smith, Dennis Windsor, Jeff Olson, Renee Olson, Amber Olson. I got to hear them, and we're literally sitting from here to the back wall there, and see the expressions on their face, and they explain the industry. Have y'all ever had anybody like really explain the industry to you? That's what we do here at Regionals. We explain the industry. They explain the power of residual income, the power of a system and staying in it, and they explain the power of coming together and supporting each other in a common goal and moving forward in it every day, every week, every month, every year. And so at the end of it, we got around the small little bar, and it was like a 360-degree bar. And I remember I was like, "Well, I want to introduce myself, but I don't have anything to bring." Like, that's where I was. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I got introduced to Mark Smith, and we sat there, and I was like, "This dude is like the Energizer Bunny." And we talked for like 5 minutes, and I don't remember a word that we said other than him saying, "Show up." That's what I remember him saying. And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." So then I got introduced to Jeff Olson, and I was like, "Man, this dude looks like a football player. He's like ripped, and he's older. I mean, not older, but he's like middle-aged, And I was like, I got a lot of work to do. Like, I'm a young guy. I got some work to do if I'm going to do this. And so got to talk with him, and he just was so loving and just like kind of pushed us, the analogy I use is like pushed us out like into the water on a boat, just kind of helped us get started. And met Dennis Windsor, and talk about like a teddy bear, like he was like, "Oh my gosh," like I'd met him 500 times, and it was the first time, and he just explained how the industry was again, about our comp plan, because I'm a numbers guy, and I was like, "How do we get paid, Dennis? Like, I don't care, how do we get paid, and what do we do?" And he's like, "Well, just do the system." It's like, okay, whatever. So, but where I'm going with this is the power of the event. I would not personally be here had I not gone to that event. There's kind of that cliche saying around Miriam of the most important event that you miss. The most important event is the one you miss. It's very true, because what had I decided to take my wife's advice when she's having a panic attack to not go? Neither one of us would have gone. Where would he have been? This is a business about seizing opportunities, about overcoming your fears. We went to that, and part of me changed because I saw how much she needed it that day. It wasn't about me. We also talk a lot about doing things for others that we won't do for ourselves. Well, guess what? Every time you talk to someone else, you're doing them a favor, and you're sharing life with them. You're breathing life into them. And so it's not for you, it's for them. And so just remember that when you're recruiting. And I'll talk here a little bit and tell a little more story. I'm doing the last part of this, but I just want to thank you guys for being here at this event. These are the lifeblood of our company. Whenever you get like-minded people in a room like this, you can literally change the world. And I love the analogy of like you have little sticks, right? You can take a little stick and you can break it. You can take 2 little sticks and you can break it. You can take 3 pretty strong, you can break it. But you take a bundle of small little sticks and you cannot break it. And that's what we're building. This company is exactly like that. We're 3 years old, guys. We have a super strong foundation. And so glad y'all are here. And we'll think we're going to break after this. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take like 10-minute break, get some water, eat some lunch real quick, and then we'll start in about at 1:10.